Welcome to Spanning Tree, a configuration adventure. This guide gives you information about Spanning Tree Protocol. Device priority is 32,768, Spanning Tree port priority is 128, port cost for 1000 megabits per second is 4, port cost for 100 megabits per second is 19. Spanning Tree timers has hello time equals 2 seconds, forward delay time equals 15 seconds, maximum aging time equals 20 seconds, transmit hold count equals 6 BPDUs. How to configure Spanning Tree features using the command line. Enables privileged exec mode, enters global configuration mode, configures a Spanning Tree mode, specifies an interface to configure, and enters interface configuration mode. Valid interfaces include physical ports, VLANs, and port channels. The VLAN ID range is 1 to 4094. The port channel range is 1 to 48. Specifies that the link type for this port is point-to-point. If you connect this port, local port, to a remote port through a point-to-point link and the local port becomes a designated port, the device negotiates with the remote port and rapidly changes the local port to the forwarding state, returns to privileged exec mode. If any port on the device is connected to a port on a legacy 802.1d device, this command restarts the protocol migration process on the entire device. This step is optional if the designated device detects that this device is running Rapid PVST+. Spanning Tree is enabled by default on VLAN 1 and on all newly created VLANs up to the Spanning Tree limit. Disable Spanning Tree only if you are sure there are no loops in the network topology. Caution: when Spanning Tree is disabled and loops are present in the topology, excessive traffic and indefinite packet duplication can drastically reduce network performance. To configure a device as the root for the specified VLAN, use the command to modify the device priority from the default value, 32,768, to a significantly lower value. When you enter the command, the software checks the device priority of the root devices for each VLAN. Because of the extended system ID support, the device sets its own priority for the specified VLAN to 24,576 if this value will cause this device to become the root for the specified VLAN. Use the diameter keyword to specify the layer 2 network diameter, that is, the maximum number of device hops between any two end stations in the layer 2 network. When you specify the network diameter, specify the maximum number of devices between any two end stations. The range is 2 to 7. The device automatically sets an optimal hello time, forward delay time, and maximum age time for a network of that diameter, which can significantly reduce the convergence time. You can use the hello keyword to override the automatically calculated hello time. This procedure is optional. After configuring the device as the root device, Cisco recommends that you avoid manually configuring the hello time, forward delay time, and maximum age time using the commands for Spanning Tree. When you configure a device as the secondary root, the device priority is modified from the default value, 32,768, to 28,672. With this priority, the device is likely to become the root device for the specified VLAN if the primary root device fails. This is assuming that the other network devices use the default device priority of 32,768, and therefore, are unlikely to become the root device. You can execute this command on more than one device to configure multiple backup root devices. Specifies an interface to configure, and enters interface configuration mode. Valid interfaces include physical ports and port channel logical interfaces. Configures the port priority for an interface. For priority, the range is 0 to 240, in increments of 16. The default is 128. Configures the port priority for a VLAN. You can specify a single VLAN identified, a range of VLAN separated by a hyphen, or a series of VLAN separated by a comma. The range is 1 to 4094. Configures the cost for an interface. If a loop occurs, Spanning Tree uses the path cost when selecting an interface to place into the forwarding state. A lower path cost represents higher speed transmission. For QoST, the range is 1 to 200 million. The default value is derived from the media speed of the interface. The Show Spanning Tree interface command displays information only for ports that are in a link-up operative state. Otherwise, you can use the Show Running Config command to confirm the configuration. Configures the device priority of a VLAN. For priority, the range is 0 to 61,440 in increments of 4,096. The default is 32,768. The lower the number, the more likely the device will be chosen as the root device. Valid priority values are shown. Configures the hello time of a VLAN. The hello time is the time interval between configuration messages generated and sent by the root device. These messages mean that the device is alive. For seconds, the range is 1 to 10, the default is 2. Configures the forward time of a VLAN. The forwarding delay is the number of seconds an interface waits before changing from its spanning tree learning and listening states to the forwarding state. For seconds, the range is 4 to 30, the default is 15. Configures the maximum aging time of a VLAN. The maximum aging time is the number of seconds a device waits without receiving spanning tree configuration messages before attempting a reconfiguration. For seconds, the range is 6 to 40, the default is 20. You can configure the BPDU burst size by changing the transmit hold count value. Note, changing this parameter to a higher value can have a significant impact on CPU utilization, especially in Rapid PVST Plus mode. Lowering this value can slow down convergence in certain scenarios. Cisco recommends that you maintain the default setting. Configures the number of BPDUs that can be sent before pausing for 1 second. For value, the range is 1 to 20, the default is 6. Monitoring spanning tree status. Commands for displaying spanning tree status. Show spanning tree active. Displays spanning tree information on active interfaces only. Show spanning tree detail. Displays a detailed summary of interface information. Show spanning tree VLAN ID number. Displays spanning tree information for the specified VLAN. Show spanning tree interface ID. Displays spanning tree information for the specified interface. Show spanning tree interface ID port fast. Displays spanning tree port fast information for the specified interface. Show spanning tree summary. Displays a summary of interface states or displays the total lines of the STP state section. To clear spanning tree counters, use the clear spanning tree with optional interface ID command. This concludes my notes for IEEE 802.1d.